This is your host, Cheyenne Roberts.
And Lisa Wardle. Welcome to the Math Line.
Welcome. Today we are talking about Chapter 7 of the California Math Framework, which focuses on middle school math, grades 6 through 8.
Also known as the years where students are deciding if math is, their thing or something they are just trying to emotionally survive until high school.
These are the Hoodie-Up, the air in, but they're not really on years.
Yes, the years where students are silently asking, am I good at math? While loudly pretending to not even care.
Mm-hmm. And Chapter 7 is very clear. What happens in middle school math matters, like a lot.
Yes, and not just for content, but for confidence, identity, and whether students ever willingly raise their hand ever again.
Which means middle school math is not the time for autopilot instruction.
You can't just hit play on the textbook and hope for the best, even though that's what some people do now. We're going to change that up.
That's the whole point, yes. So this chapter pushes us to design classrooms where students are actively investigating, right? Connecting ideas, making sense of math, not just memorizing steps and formulas and praying that they remember them tomorrow.
Right, because the math itself gets more abstract right here. Mm-hmm. Ratios, proportions, variables, functions, data, geometry, da-da-da-da.
And when abstraction shows up without meaning, students do what middle schoolers do best.
Mentally disappear. Like, peace out, I'm gone.
Yep. So the framework makes it clear that middle school math should be organized around big ideas, not just chapters in the textbook.
Mm-hmm. The big ideas are proportional reasoning, relationships between quantities, how variables change together, how data tell stories, and how shapes and space connect to the real world.
So instead of saying, today we're talking about fractions, tomorrow we're talking about equations, students need to be able to see how these ideas grow and connect over time.
Which means fewer, when are we ever going to use this moments?
Yes, not zero, but hopefully fewer.
That repetition is not redundancy, it's actually coherence.
And Chapter 7 also keeps coming back to the idea of the why, the how, and the what of mathematics.
Yeah, the why really comes from the drivers of investigation, making sense of the world, predicting what could happen, also impacting the future.
So math is not just because it's on the test, but because this actually explains something real.
This is how shows up in the standards for mathematical practice. Reasoning, arguing, modeling, using tools, and noticing structures.
Which, not surprisingly, lines up beautifully with our work around building thinking classrooms. Yeah.
You mean where students are thinking and teachers are resisting the urge to immediately explain everything?
A daily act of self-control.
So hard. And the what is grounded in content connections that keep learning coherent across all grade levels.
This chapter is also really clear about the roles of tasks.
The middle school students need open, engaging tasks. Not just problems with one right answer and one approved method.
Tasks that invite multiple strategies, require justification, and give students something worth arguing about.
Yeah. Think ratios through paint mixing, recipes, or scale drawings. Functions through patterns, change over time, or real data. Geometry through construction, transformation, and visualization.
And this is where you really see that BTC connection, like students working together, sharing strategies, and revising their thinking.
Right. So if your class is silent or you have been talking for 50 straight minutes,
something's gone wrong.
Yes. Middle school is also where data literacy really ramps up.
Students are not just reading graphs anymore. They should be questioning and interpreting them.
Right. Like, who collected this data? What does it show? What might be missing? What conclusions are actually fair?
Those conversations build reasoning and language at the same time, which is super important.
Yes, and this matters a lot for our multilingual learners.
Yeah, exactly. Because students can explain their thinking with words, diagrams, tables, graphs, even gestures, it doesn't always have to be those perfectly polished sentences.
Right, because the focus is on the thinking, not sounding like a textbook or a robot.
Yeah. This chapter also speaks directly to unfinished learning, what we've been talking a lot about.
Right. And the framework does not mince words here. Unfinished learning is not a reason to deny grade level access.
Instead, students should engage in grade level investigations with just-in-time supports built in.
Right, like visual models, tools, strategic scaffolds.
Not, let's go back 3 grade levels and try again.
Yes. Geometry also plays a big role in middle school.
And geometry here is more than formulas that you forget 5 minutes after your quiz.
Right. It's about spatial reasoning, those transformations, similarity, scale, and structure.
Yeah, students explore area, volume, the Pythagorean theorem as ideas that make sense, not just equations to memorize and panic about.
Right. I think I panicked a lot back then. The framework reminds us that visual thinking is mathematical thinking.
So if you are listening to this before planning lessons or reviewing curriculum, here is the Chapter 7 lens. Are you ready?
Yes. So the first question would be, where do students get to think first?
Where are multiple strategies expected and not treated as distractions?
Where is discourse built into the lesson, not squeezed in at the end if, there's time?
Where are students asked to explain why and not just how?
And where do students leave class believing they are capable of math thinkers?
Because middle school math has the power to open doors.
Or let's be honest, it also has the ability to quietly close them too.
Yeah, it's true. And this chapter challenges us to build classrooms where students feel curious, capable, and connected.
Where math is something they do and not something that happens to them.
Yeah. Where students see a future that includes mathematics.
Yes. So I guess, in summary, that is Chapter 7.
Yeah, and it's big work.
But it's good work. So until next time, keep noticing the math around you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.